Hey dolls and friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michon and I create farmhouse inspired home decor using majority of Dollar Tree or other affordable items. But if you're not new, hey doll, hey. Hey y'all, I'm back with another video this week. I'm so excited. I think I have been like pent up like with the crafting, so all these ideas are just flowing out. Anyways, I have 3 new DIY projects for you guys today that I know you will love. They're using all of Dollar Tree's Crafter Square wood items. I had a ton of fun at making these DIYs and I think that you guys are really gonna love them. I really love that you can take them from like spring or summer to fall, and I'm getting into fall crafting, so the next video you'll see will be fall crafting video. But I really love how they turned out and I think you will like them. I think I already said that, but anyways, if you do like them and enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up as it definitely helps out my channel and its growth. If you're new, love what you see, but also love all things home decor DIY on a budget, I would also appreciate if you would consider subscribing and hitting the bell right next to it so you're notified every time that I upload. Alright dolls, let's go ahead and jump right in. For this first DIY, I am going to create this welcome home wood round, and I think it turned out really pretty. So I got this wood round from Dollar Tree's Crafter Square section. First thing I did is took some painter's tape and just kind of put it down halfway, about halfway, maybe a little bit more. And then I'm going to use my golden oak wood stain and give this one coat of this stain, and I just used a foam brush for this. And I did get this stain from the Dollar Tree. Then after it dries, I just let it dry for a few hours, and then I am going to remove the painter's tape and then reapply it the opposite way, so that way I can paint the bottom portion of the sign using my crystal colored chalk paint from Waverly. I really love this color. I think it's such a pretty like light powder blue color. I just think it's adorable, and it goes really well with like everyday decor if you're looking for a pop of color or even for fall, which is what I'm going for. So I did about 2 coats for that and let it dry completely. Then I removed my painter's tape, and then I have this home sign that I got from Dollar Tree. I haven't been able to find any just like home signs that aren't on the stand, and it took me forever to get this off of this stand, to be perfectly honest. I thought I could just like slide it out, but it was in there pretty thick. So I just used some a utility knife or some box cutters or whatever you want to call it, and just cut it down. Just kept cutting it down on both sides until it came apart. In the end, I had to separate the letters, which was totally fine. So when I took them off, I just cut down the pieces of wood that I didn't need on each of the letters towards the bottom to make them look more like letters, and then placed them on the bottom portion of the blue painted side, and just position them where I wanted them. And then I went to my Cricut Joy and cut out the word welcome, and I used the Bayamo font. I'll have it down in my description box below if I remember, honestly. Anyways, I just transferred it over using some opaque transfer tape and put it right underneath or right on top of the blue part, and then position my home letters back there. So I put the home there so I could line up the welcome word better. So anyways, after I done that, I just used some super glue gel, also from the Dollar Tree, to place down my letters. Let that dry, and then I am going to take my jute twine from the Dollar Tree, the Crafter Square section, and just hot glue it down where the the golden oak stain and the blue paint meet. And I'm just going to wrap this around a couple of times using hot glue. And I just did it the entire way, even on the front and on the top, just so it could stick and stay and didn't really like move, and you couldn't see any gaps or anything on the separation of the twine. Then I also took that twine to line up underneath the word home, and I wrapped that around a couple of times as well. After I was satisfied with that, I just hot glued it to the back and cut it down. And then I'm taking just an assortment of solo wood flowers that I already had on hand that I thought would match really well with this, kind of vintagey fall like wood round look. I don't know, I just really like it. I know the pink is new for fall for some, but I just think it's really pretty, and it goes really well with the blue and the brown. I just think that the combination of those colors just really pops, and it's so inviting and it's so warm. So I just kind of positioned those around the way that I want it, and then added just an assortment of greenery that I have, some different type of boxwood, some other like leafy green florals, just to, you know, give me some contrasting of colors and textures with all of my greenery and my flowers. Once I was happy with that and everything hot glued down, then I took my drill and drilled 2 holes at the top so I can get some twine to go through them, and then knot those in the front so that way I can have my hanger. And all I did was put some hot glue on the end of my twine piece and twisted it so that way it could go through there, and then knotted it in the front and cut that down. And that is it for this sign. I think it's adorable. I think it's super cute, and it only cost me a couple of dollars. It's just super adorable for fall, for a door, or wherever you want to put it. I think it came out wonderful. Next up, I'm making this decorative tray, and I was very ambitious with this one, y'all. So I have another wood round from the Dollar Tree Plus section. It was $5. It's a little bit thicker. It's a lot thicker than the one I just used. And then I am going to use these wood rings from the Dollar Tree. There's 2 different sizes. There's a bigger one and a small one. And then I have my half wood beads that I love using all the time. And then some more wood beads from the Dollar Tree. I also put down some of these Jenga pieces in the middle. I don't know why I did this. I thought that I would be able to stand it up a little higher. But I took it off in the end. So just ignore that. But anyways, I lined up my half wood beads on the edge of my wood round at 2 inches apart from each other. I didn't have that many half wood beads. These are 16 millimeter size, and I wanted to make sure that they would go all the way around. So instead of putting them right next to each other, I just measured them out. They're 2 inches apart. And once I was able to get that measuring out, then I just used some wood glue from the Dollar Tree to adhere everything down. I let that set and dry for a couple of hours, and then I flipped it over to work on my top. And this is where it gets a little tricky. So I have 2 sizes of the wood rings, and I'm going to alternate the way that they're going to look. And then from the wood beads, I'm going to use the middle size beads. There's some big beads and some smaller beads, but I use just the middle size beads. So what I do is I lay out my wood rings. I alternate them, big, small, so on and so forth. And then put some wood glue on top of the wood ring, and then put my wood bead on top of that with the opening. So as you can see here, it kind of looks like a ring, like a very small diamond ring, but kind of like that. You know what you get what I'm saying. You can see what I'm doing. So this is what they all look like. And then this is what it's going to look like when I attach it to the tray. And I use wood glue for all of this so it can stick and stay. And I did let this dry for 24 hours. Honestly, guys, I didn't touch it for like 2 days before I painted it. So to get this to line up correctly, you're going to want to make sure that the hole for the wood bead is not showing when you put it behind the second or the first wood ring, if that makes sense. So put some wood glue on the tray on the bottom, and then you're going to attach that and then hold it in place for like 30 seconds or so. And then you could have there's an option of putting wood glue on the front of the wood bead, but you don't have to. I did it like for the first few and then realized I really didn't need to. All I needed to do was put it on the tray and then put my wood ring down. So just make sure you have it lined up so that way it looks flush to the wood round that's in front of it, but it's not actually that flush, but it looks flush enough. I really hope you understand what I'm saying. I feel like I'm rambling and like talking in like circles or something, but you can see what I'm doing here, right? It looks, I mean, it takes a while, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it and start doing it. Just make sure that it looks flush and you use enough wood glue to keep it to hold. Like I said, I left it for a couple of days. 24 hours is really enough, all you need. But this is how it looks like once I am complete, and I think it's so pretty. You can leave it this color if you want. You see here, this is where I took off the Jenga pieces that I didn't need. But you could do two-sided on here. And so I'm going to use this golden oak wood stain again and paint this. I should have used my honey stain because I really love that color, but this golden oak did really well. I just used a foam brush and then I came back with a baby wipe to wipe it down to get more of a lighter brown color, which is what I was going for, which is after I painted this, I was like, I should have used my honey, but the golden oak did just fine. And once you dress it up and decorate it, it looks really, really good. So just used the foam brush, like I said, and went back with a baby wipe to wipe some of it down. And I did the whole thing and did one coat. And this is how it turned out. I think it's adorable. I think it's so cute. It looks so high end. And come on, you wouldn't know that I use Dollar Tree products, right? I mean, you guys know because you're watching the video, but if somebody came over, they wouldn't know that I use Dollar Tree products. All right, so next up, I am making this Market Fresh tray, and this one gave me some trouble, y'all. From the Dollar Tree, I'm using 2 of their thick wood cutting boards from the Crafter Square section, as well as some Jenga block pieces, and then some poplar board that I got from the Home Depot. I've had this poplar board for a very long time, and I'm just kind of using what I have. And so what I did is I took 5 pieces of those Jenga pieces and glued them together. Yes, I did use hot glue. I hate using hot glue on these pieces, but I was trying to do it for video purposes to go quickly on this. So I just glued 5 of them together, and I did 2 sets so that way I can have a bottom start to my tray. And so then I put I put wood glue onto the ends of the those Jenga pieces to attach it to the sides where the thick cutting boards are. I let them set for probably about 30 to 40 minutes so that they would adhere good. And then I took the poplar board and just kind of measured down where I needed to cut it. I cut down 4 pieces, and I used 1.5 pieces of the poplar board that I currently had on hand. This is what everything looks like now that it's dry and it's ready for me to assemble. So all I'm going to do is kind of just slide everything into place, and I'm just using some wood glue to put all of my poplar board pieces so that they are the sides of my going to be now crate. And I just use wood glue for it all to go all the way up and around. And oh my gosh, as I was putting this crate together, I realized that I didn't have a bottom, and I had all intentions of putting just like an MDF piece of wood or board on there, and I didn't feel like cutting anything down. So I just took some craft sticks that I already had a bunch like cut down. I cut them down a little bit more just so they can fit in here, and I just put them down in there and then just hot glued it on the edge so that they would stay, because hot gluing, you know, craft sticks on their corners or on their edges is really tough for them to stay. So I just put a generous amount of hot glue on the inside of it, and it stayed just fine. So I use popsicle sticks or craft sticks, but you could totally use like a piece of MDF, like wood board. It's not wood, but you know what I'm saying. And then after that, I wanted to do a handle. So I took a wooden skewer from the Dollar Tree and drilled a hole in the tops of the sides of my now crate. And all I did was just cut down my skewer to size and just kind of shimmied it on in there. And that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to paint it. I'm using my white chalk paint from Waverly, and I just did about 1 coat for this. I let it dry really well, and then I took my sanding block or my sanding sponge and then sanded down quite a bit on this. I really mainly focused on all of the edges and all of the corners. I really love that farmhouse look where it has that weathered look on the corners and the edges. So I really focused on that a lot. Next, I'm going to take this stencil that I got from Amazon. It says Market Fresh Flowers, but I'm just going to use the Market Fresh as well as the truck on the bottom without the flowers. Then I'm going to use this flexible stencil from the Dollar Tree and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to use, but I'm going to use one of those to stencil the sides of my crate. So I'm going to stencil the side using my moss colored chalk paint. I really do love this color. I love pops of color in Farmhouse Decor like so much, especially like greens and blues, if you can't already tell. So all I did was just took a small paintbrush and then just painted it right on there. I absolutely love these flexible stencils from Dollar Tree because it's really precise and it dries really quickly. And it just gives you all the feels that you want for whatever style you're going for. Whether it's modern farmhouse, boho, whatever it is, I just really like how they turn out. Then I stenciled the Market Fresh on there using that same moss color. And then I replaced or repositioned the stencil to fit the truck down there, and then used some gray acrylic paint to paint that a little bit. I gave it 2 coats, but it gave me a lot of bleeding. But, you know, with Farmhouse Decor, your accidents are a lot of times happy accidents. You can totally fix it with Farmhouse Decor by just sanding it down or just taking a small paintbrush and doing some distressing lines or whatever you want to do. So what I chose to do is just to take my sanding block and just sand down everything on the sides and on the face of my crate. And that is it for this. I really love how it turned out. It's super rustic, super farmhouse, exactly what I love. And just really easy to create and looks really high end. This looks like you could probably buy this at like Walmart or Hobby Lobby, and it just really looks super farmhouse. I really like how this turned out. That's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be blessed, stay safe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye! So I don't have any bloops today. I did really well on my intros. I've been like writing them down so I know what to say, because a lot of times I don't know what to say. And I ramble and talk a lot, as you guys already probably know. Anyways, no bloops, no boys. But I do have a belly to show y'all. Y'all want to see the bump? Y'all want to see the bump? Let me see if I can get up first. Hold on. Here's the bump. There's the mama bump. You see the bump? You see it? Look at my shirt. I love this shirt. Mom life is the best life. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, that's my bump. There's the baby. I'm grateful that I'm on belly and like not anything else. My face is spreading, but that's okay.